the notes.
What do you mean, how am I going to catch the notes?
You're supposed to be
Oh, I forgot.
You look like a course stenographer. Did you write that down?
Yes. You said you look like a court stenographer.
Yeah, can you read it back for the record? Thanks.
Judge Malachi Unique stated that Alejandra, the court stenographer, looks like a court stenographer.
I was like, how the hell do you...
Hey, can you read the statement that followed after that, please? For the jury.
No.
I think I can fill in because I was there. It was you look like a court stenographer. The stenographer. That's because I am a court stenographer. The judge then said, "Can you read that statement back to me?" then the stenographer said, "You look like a court stenographer. That's because I am a court stenographer. Thank you. Can you read that statement back to me?"
Okay.
Thank you.
And scene.
All right, bet. So we're here. Welcome to insert name here, brought to you in full technicolor and living sound with the dulcet tones of the beautiful, amazing, smart, lovely
Stenographer.
Court stenographer, Alejandra.
Court stenographer
It's
Alejandra.
me. Mario.
The luscious, earthy, rich base of
Earthy sounds so nasty.
I'm earthy.
of
You're one with nature.
of the
Yeah, that's right, girls.
of the best black man and music producer in this general vicinity. I'd probably say about probably a little long, you know. I don't know. Tomo lives over here, so maybe not. But yeah, you know, you're doing pretty good.
Maybe in this room.
But
She's
his
trying
name
to
is
give you more
Kuma.
credit.
No, I know. That's okay.
His name is Kuma.
What up, dog?
Kaden. And there's me, the raspy voice, the cold-blooded, the you know, I'll be out here. And I'm here, Malachi Unique, that's me. So yeah, let's go, bish.
Let's get it. What are we gonna do? Where do we want to go first?
Let's talk about the male race. We like to jump into that
Okay,
shit.
yeah.
No, since nobody that we know died, unless somebody died, tell us somebody died.
I think somebody
did you
died in a
put-
construction accident.
Yeah, did we talk about
Another
that?
one.
Oh yeah, wasn't there?
There was one in Cambridge like yesterday. Or
Did
today.
it? Did you put? Oh, reconnection is successful.
Oh.
Please God, please work.
Oh, it just put us live again. Well,
Damn it! Fucking fuck. This is annoying. It's gonna be really.
we've
really
been cursed
annoying.
by I don't know who cursed us, but alas, we're.
Oh,
Oh,
didn't
we forgot to change the title. Oh wait, is it?
Wait,
on the show?
it's the same. Is it the same?
I said we've been live 6 minutes. I
We
guess.
froze, I guess.
Oh, cool, whatever. You here?
Folks gonna come back, maybe.
We don't know what's happening. Something happened to the internet? Question mark.
Share it again, and it came back immediately somehow. Question mark.
I don't understand. This episode not even about Bobby bitch, pero
Well, we're here still. Whatever, dog.
we're live. Whatever. Anywho, where were we? Who am I? What's my
we
name?
was talking
Oh,
about.
can we bring back the message area?
Yeah, we was talking about Joseph Michael.
Oh yes,
Bianchi.
we was going on his website. Where's the Squarespace website?
Okay, somebody's back. That's good.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, sorry about the.
Oh no, I meant the restream.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Restream doesn't really let me look on my own computer.
It's not logged in. So it's okay. All right. So yeah.
Yeah, he has the Squarespace .com website.
Oof,
Which
boy.
is, can you go down? Next.
Sorry.
It's okay. Which means he didn't even have his own name. He can't even get his name.
He can't pay. You can't pay to like not have.
Tab.
Yeah.
It went to the create account, boy.
You gotta press it again. I think. Oh, they went too long, maybe. But I
That's
don't
how
know.
you jump to things without the mouse.
Well, racism. Oh,
Ouch.
sorry. The devil is out to get us. Look, it decided we aren't on at like 9 p.m. Psh, attack.
Bruh, and
Attack.
It attacks us every day when we're on at 9 p.m. What's the happy medium here?
But anywho, whatever. So Michael,
Joseph Bianchi.
uh-huh.
You want me to read it? Can I read it?
Oh yeah, I guess.
I don't know what it says. It's the first time I've been on here. Oh gosh, it already looks worrisome. The city of Boston, as well as the rest of the country and the world, are currently in a vulnerable state. Last year was an emotional year. People lost their lives. A global pandemic devastated our communities and families, and we were divided. We are in a place where we need to rise from the ashes, and that time is now. I love this city. There are great cities in the U.S., but something about Boston's spirit is why we will be the hub for the new normal in a new America. Why? For what? For what reason?
I don't know.
Would Boston randomly
I could not
become
even
the
tell you.
hub of the new normal? I feel like this is like exactly not the place because we're about to be devastated by climate change and like we have like a bad, like anyway. We're doing pretty bad on like COVID, but I want to listen to everyone's worries and concerns. I want to bring peace of mind and help create a community that is built on inclusive leadership. Change starts small. We will work together to bring culture back to our communities, to help allocate our resources to necessary areas, and to unite our community in love, not hate. I want to represent my peers, my equals, my city based on my similar experiences. I want to work for you, not against you, because I have been there. This city has failed you because it lacks understanding. I am here with you wholeheartedly, open-mindedly, and pure as long as you will allow me to be.
And pure?
I look forward to running with you, Michael Bianchi. Is he proposing to somebody?
Why is he sounds like, it sounds like a fucking Two-Face monologue.
He's like, we are in a place where we need to rise from the ashes. And then the other side, we need to work with love, not hate. And then the other side.
I can be fair. I can be so fair. Flip, time to die.
Michael, you said so much and said so nothing. Also. Biography. I'm not reading that, but I'll read it.
No.
Well, I think we know you're a son, Joseph.
I am the streets politician. That's all you need to know.
Michael, slow down.
Slow down.
Let me see. I'm not running for mayor. We the people are running for mayor because we are Boston. I don't know about that one, Mr. Bianchi. You don't look like my Boston to me, but let's see. We're gonna find out.
So what's that make it? Let me try and count the number of people.
So we got John Santiago.
Wait, let me go on that.
We got John Barros. We got Michelle Hu. We got Andrea Cambo. We got Anissa Sabi George. We got Michael Bianchi. We got Dana DePlatino. We got probably Kim Janey. I don't know for sure. She hasn't.
So that's
officially announced, I don't think.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's what I counted.
Oh, ooh. Yeah. So there are 8 people running for mayor, and only possibly 3 of them should be running. And I mean, by 3 of them, I mean 2 of them. But I'm not trying to be, I'm giving Kim Janey the benefit of the doubt compared to the rest of the people that are trying to run because, Jesus.
I really wish I could see the chat.
I wish I could see it as well.
But anyway.
But, whatever.
Next thing.
Let's try and make it 10 though, guys. Let's get spicy. Let's add another 2 let's add another 2 wild cards.
So, more in semi-local political news. Very, very local, pretty much. Unfortunately, Juan Jaramillo.
I'm mad disrespectful. I ain't need
lost the primary to Jeff Turco, a bitch-ass supposed Democrat
that voted for Trump.
That is not.
Don't know how that works.
But anyway, so very likely that Jeff Turco will be the state rep for the 19th.
And it's important, and this is all thanks to our former Speaker of the House, DeLeo
Hoyes,
who did this on purpose. He won his re-election and said, you know what? I'm leaving, and I'm going to do a special election, or I'm going to force a special election, because there's so much of my term left that you can't do it like we're going to do for Marty Welch's. So, special election, which is harder for people of color to vote in, harder for the people that
Poor
work,
people.
the people that live mainly in Revere, which are
Right.
mainly like brown and black Latinx folks. So cool.
Yeah.
Good
Trash.
job. Cool.
You're trash.
Thank you for your legacy being a horrible person to take your
You're
place.
trash.
Like he
That's
said,
shitty.
let me just go out with a bang. Make sure my
After
replacement
you
is
spend
behind
all
me.
these years being a little hoe as a Speaker of the House, like,
Sick.
smack on your
Sick.
face.
I
Oh,
almost
I'm still on this
Um,
website. I got scared.
I was like, what is that, bro?
I almost I spoke to a legal aid that worked for Delio.
Mhm.
In 2017, I was gonna try to be a legal aid, but I was like, nah, I'm all set.
Somebody's talking about me.
I want to be. Your ear itching?
Yeah, it's ringing.
Mine's heavy itching.
Somebody's talking about you too. Anyways, yeah. So that was a
Yes.
sad
They
loss.
must be talking about both of us.
So is my ears.
They're
also
always talking
But
about
they're
both
not
of
talking
us
about you.
together.
They're talking about us.
Me
Anywho,
and-
he lost. It's really
me
tragic
and my
because he got so
bitch,
many
just
great
me and my
endorsements, but all of those endorsements also came like
They
very
came out.
last minute.
I mean, what is last minute in an election that was about like a month?
Yeah, it was a very short
Like,
time
you know,
span.
like it's just whack. Like
Don't even need to be on that tweet.
people, the fact that people even like the fact that Tino's got a bunch of endorsements is honestly wild. But anyway, jump into
Oh, let's talk about this, about how no one from BPD showed up or
Oh,
the mayor's
yes.
office for a city
Yes.
council meeting, a hearing to update on the implementation of police reforms that Marty signed
Yep.
in January. From what I read, because I didn't watch, Angela Campbell was a little peeved.
she
as
was bothered by
I
that.
would be as well, because obviously you're expecting, the mayor signed something saying that there will be changes made and that there will be kind of changes made to the police department, and then nobody show up to tell you about nothing. They sent a letter saying, oh, blah, 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 this is what we're working on, but nobody showed up because they were busy. You couldn't have gotten unbusy for at least an hour?
So how? Okay, really, the highest people up in
All of
BPD
them?
were all busy.
Every single one of them?
That homie, what's his name? With the mustache, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know his name, though.
Mustachio.
Yep,
Yeah, he
Mustachio.
wasn't busy. That man is never busy. I've never seen that man busy in my life.
And I'd like to add that while in this thing, one of the representatives for the union was complaining about how before they were involved in the process of this process, and that he appreciated the invitation to speak. And really, quite frankly, you shouldn't have given an invitation. So he should wait. How you gonna show up, but none of your superiors gonna show up? How none of
Suspicious.
This is all a crime. They didn't show up. This is why ACAB, because y'all.
Oh, this
y'all
is what.
wildin'.
Did you put this on there?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's I labeled the episode on Facebook, at least, is now called Tremont Crossing.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that, because across from the main BPD site is what was supposed to be Tremont Crossing.
They said this was gonna be the thing. Finally, we're gonna use
We're
this
gonna have a
land.
BJ's.
It's gonna have a museum. It's gonna have a BJ. It's gonna have a movie theater. It's gonna have
Apartments.
some apartments. It's gonna have some a gym.
Retail.
It's gonna
More
be
retail.
It's gonna be
mixed.
a big thing.
I want it. What up? Let me get that. Can I
And
get that,
then-
please?
And then it's failed for I didn't know how many years
A
they had been working on
long
this,
time.
but it's basically
It's-
been since the early 2000s.
It's peak Boston. It was like 19 years or something.
Oh
Yes.
damn!
It's-
It's the big dig all over.
Right.
again.
It's peak.
Except they never dug.
They didn't even start. It's more like the Air Force's fucking plane fucking that plane shit the Air Force pulled.
It really makes me sick because they emptied out those projects right there,
Yeah.
Right.
saying that the purpose was they're gonna knock them down and build other housing that
Right.
/ the BJ / things that will make Tremont Crossing better. And now, after those many years, it's still TBD.
People just been pushed out for no reason. Gentrification just for gentrification's sake.
It's still quite funny because up until this article came out, I had forgotten that it wasn't being built.
Right, me too.
And because there's so much construction just generally in Roxbury, I was like, I guess it must still be being
on the
built.
way, right?
Like, I guess they're
I
just
didn't
working
even
on
know it
something
got
else.
like put down. Like the thing is, I feel like there's so little transparency for these construction projects and like what the fuck is going on with them. People, I know like the articles like people like were feeling okay with the Elma Lewis because you know they're community based shits, but like at this point like come on man, like it's just mess.
Why it came up again this week is because they're considering splitting it up so it's not as big of a chunk that the city has to like sell or like lease away, because that chunk was going to be pretty massive piece of land that you could like develop on, but now they're like, who's going to take it, because they just spent 19-ish years trying to develop this into something, and now it's going to be nothing.
Ridiculous.
So now we can continue to have nothingness across from the Boston Police Department.
Ridiculous.
Nice.
One would think somebody could find a purpose for the community that needs, so you know, housing.
Something right, you know.
I mean, at least they got a Jamba Juice, right?
But at least Northeastern has their building.
Isn't there a Jamba Juice in there, or wasn't there?
I have no clue.
I don't be like, you know,
I don't
following
be in
Jamba
colleges
Juice,
like
bro.
that.
Be like, yeah, where's the Jamba Juice? I need this.
I've been in that building, I think, once or twice, and it was for comics and color meetings.
I've been in Northeastern a
it's
few
just-
times because I had family went there, whatever. But you know,
Family that went there.
or whatever. You
I
know.
used to pass
No, I'm
through
kidding.
there.
But nah.
You used to what?
Pass through there all the
Oh, I
time.
thought you were gonna say I used to skate there, like you say about Milton
I did.
Academy.
Used to skate there
I
as
used
well.
to skate past there all the time.
I did. I skated there. I skated
Okay,
to
you're
school.
so cool. Let's talk
And
about the exam.
It's
I'm
some
a
schools.
skateboarder.
So isn't this like the 10th million time they've said they were gonna sue, or like they're suing? Because I feel like it happens every 2 years. Whenever changes are proposed or implemented in the exam school process, the Asian and white parents go crazy.
They're like, but I'm like,
They're basically saying it's racist.
yeah, to be honest, I think I don't think it would really affect the number of Asian students in.
I don't think so either. That's
in
why I'm
exam
quite confused by it.
school. That's why we be saying Asians are racist, yo. Because y'all will literally be like, wow, white people are so abusive to us. Look at what they do to us, and then you won't be in solidarity with anybody else. Fuck out of here. Like, you want to be like, oh, black people, why aren't you defending us? Like, and we do defend. Like, we
It's
go out
just-
for everybody.
It's wild that what they're arguing is it artificially favors Latino and African American students to the detriment of Asian and white students, and I'm like, but you guys make up the most of almost all of these schools except the O'Brien. Do you make up the majority? Like, both of you guys together make up most of the school.
And it doesn't match the demographics of the city or of BPS. So
Y'all like, what's the Asian population in Boston?
they're way overrepresented. And my thing is that, like, also, like I said, I just don't think
way overrepresented in there, and then you find them nowhere in an actual like regular high school. So.
I just
Yeah.
like I said, I just don't actually think it would. I don't think like it would actually limit, like, the percentage of Asians would be that significantly lowered by
I'm
whatever
trying to think
the
if there
fuck.
was
Because
any Asian people. That
because
I
here's
think
the thing
were
about it,
racist.
like let's be clear, a lot of the Asian folks who like are like recent immigrants, like the ones who don't really speak English, like those, like a lot of them end up like going to the O'Brien because it's like you know, whatever, right? And so I think this would also benefit like those people. I think it would benefit like probably like Vietnamese populations a lot more. Maybe Chinese, but I think Vietnamese populations, it would benefit to do like
Me just confused because
to
they
do
all
this.
Asians like they don't all live in the same area.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So I'm confused on
I
how
feel like-
the
I feel
zip
like-
code thing would mess. Like they're arguing that will mess them up, but I was like, you don't all live in Chinatown.
That's
you don't
what I'm
all
saying,
live
like-
in Fields Corner.
like and even if you did, Fields Corner is what, Vietnamese and mostly what, like, I don't have to look at the map again, but it feels like it's a lot black over there and a lot brown in Asian. It doesn't feel Fields Corner is not white. Like, that's not a white area of Boston to me. But
that's definitely Black Dorchester.
I'm like, so I don't understand. Like, I think, like I said, I think for Vietnamese folks specifically, this would probably be beneficial in terms of like getting into exam schools. But man, it's just like the thing is like we can't keep codifying this oppression. Like we have to stop. Like at some point we can't keep giving in to people like, well, but you feel this way. Okay, but you're wrong. Like fuck out of here. Like the if you guys had to go to all the shitty schools we went to, they would not be shitty. Like that's the point. This is the problem. You're like, well, why are you making us go to these shitty schools? Why are they shitty? That's what we're having the conversation about. Like they shouldn't be trash.
Stop trying to force me to go to these poor people's schools.
Like those
Even
schools,
though I am also poor.
those schools should be good schools. And bruh, if this happens, like I mean, like I really just don't think like the way the city of Boston is set up in terms of like racial dynamics in schools, white people just cannot say anything about public schools because y'all don't go to public schools at all, pretty much to this day. Like this is from the late 70s to like now. Still, you do not see, like maybe more than before, but like you still don't see that many white students in elementary schools or middle schools. They go to BLA or BLS. That's it. And that's not cool. That's not fair when those schools get the most funding. Like, that is not fair at all. And if y'all think that's fair, that's because you're racist. Like, that's it. So, like, it's not a word, like, bruh. Like, people want to be all elitist and weird, like, you know, like, I passed the ISEE, so what? So what? There's some fucking person who went to Madison or who went to wherever else where they were undersupported and underfunded and did way better than me, worked way harder than me, making way more money than me now. So fuck out of here. Like fuck out of here. Like you don't want to foster that support. Like you know, like this is the other thing. Like BLA had a fair amount of students with like IEPs and stuff like that, but otherwise we are the students who least need support. So why do we get the most support at the detriment of other people? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Also, just to tell you guys, it's, the percentage-wise, BLS, 44% white, 29% Asian, 13%
That is
Hispanic
ridiculous.
or Latino.
29%.
And then just under 8% black.
That 29% is ridiculous.
Now, if you know quick maths, that would make it whites and Asian make up the population of BLS.
Yeah,
now let
we
us
knew
go
that.
to BLA, where 30% of the students are white, 26% are Hispanic, 21% are black, and 19% are Asian. Now, if you don't know quick math like me, you're like, damn, what's that number? What's the percentage wise? Asian and white make up 49% of the school. The other Hispanic and black make up 47%. So even there, you guys are winning. And then the only place where you guys take an L, and even not really,
because you don't want to go to that school,
is the O'Brien, where it's 34% Hispanic, and then 32% black, and then 20% Asian, and 12% white. And like Malaysia said, it's because y'all don't want to go to OB, because y'all don't want to be there, because you think it's the hood. Even the OB is like directly down the street from BLA, and directly like up the street from BLS.
They're like really
But
right in a line, low key.
Whatever. Just to give you some information, and now how that compares to BPS, is as a whole, 42% of the people are Latino, and then 29% are black, 15% are white, and then 9% are Asian. So just quick question, Asian people, for y'all
29% at BLS. That is absurd.
Wait. So you said 29 at BLS and 19 at BLA?
Yes.
Yeah. And then what's in OB?
20.
20%?
Yeah.
29.
And then 9 overall
And
when you go.
So that's 58%. That's 58%
Of exam school students?
Yeah. 58% of 9% of Asian students in Boston are in exam schools. That's fucking wild.
And you complaining.
That's fucking wild.
And you're complaining it's unfair.
That's wild. That's
like
wild.
It's unfair to who?
I'm telling, and you know that's what I mean with OB being the 20%. Like that, like
It's
a
still
lot of
not.
those Asian students are like recent, more like you know,
Mm-hmm.
not all of them.
Within the
but,
past decade, it's been an increased number of
right,
That's wild.
Asians there.
like as people immigrated, like that population rose in that, you know, because it's
So
still
this
a-
lawsuit
it's
should get
good
dumped
for
out. But
whatever.
luckily, the judge is letting the civil rights coalitions, so you know, NAACP, and obviously the other like Latinx groups join in this coalition to fight back against this lawsuit because obviously it's stupid. Like,
That's racist.
and it's also not a permanent fix. This is the thing that kills me. This is not a permanent fix. This is just because of the last year and everything that has
Confefe.
happened. They're like 20% still. Also, 20% of the seats will still be going to people based off of just the regular rules. And then the other 80 will be not even just your zip code. It'll be your MCAS, your grades, your zip code. Like,
So y'all are all gonna, because like think about it. Who has the most support to pass MCAS? I mean, that like I said, that really only doesn't benefit white people because those Catholic schools don't always take the MCAS. That's the only people it really messes up. Like because even for the Asian folks who go to like parochial schools or private schools, like those schools be schools that do take the MCAS.
Which also question mark, where are you guys? What school are you guys going to?
They all, I swear, they all go to one school.
Where are the rest of you going?
They go. There's like three schools.
Where are you guys going, guys? If only 9% of you exist in BPS.
Well, what's the percentage of Asian students in Boston? We don't even, because like what is actually the demographic breakdown of I don't know anymore.
I don't
What's
know
the
anyway either.
percentages of Boston?
They've changed a lot. We have to go look it up. It's just, it's wild. It's crazy that they are trying to do this. Like, they're like, yes, COVID, perfect time for us to say this is unfair and this is racist towards us.
Yeah, they tried to do that like 2 years ago too.
Yes, they do it like every 2 years. Whenever people, especially Black and Latinx groups, bring up the fact that this system is trash, they're like, it's racist towards us if you try and change it. You're being racist towards us.
I just love it. They're like, if you fight racism, that's racist towards me.
And this is what y'all get for trying to be close to white people. You try and make your proximity to whites, and you're siding with the wrong people. But I ain't gotta say it's almost like affirmative action. Like when people are fighting against what helps them, when white women are like, affirmative action is horrible. Bitch, how did you get into college?
You benefited. Oh, please give me the BLM question.
Oh yes. Wait, I have to find it. I couldn't find it.
Dang.
Chitter chatter.
What's
Not
Not
that King. Jesus. Okay, shut up. Another topic. Okay. Also, kind of on topic, but not on topic. There have been a bunch of attacks against Asian Americans in the past couple weeks. Obviously, we don't do that. I don't know what more you could say. Like, why the fuck are you attacking old Asian people? They're
leave
lovely.
people. Don't attack people, especially for their race. You're weird. Stop. Also, you know, Black people, we really don't got that much beef with Asian, bro. We don't got beef, bro. We don't got beef. Our parents don't talk about you behind your back. We don't, nothing. Like, we really don't got beef. I promise you. In fact,
we wouldn't support your restaurants if we did.
In fact, Black people are always the ones to be in solidarity with folks, even though they treat us like shit, a bunch of people, so whatever. Everybody's anti-Black, but we be for everyone. Whatever.
Yes.
Nobody can say that's not true. Fuck out of here.
So, over the past year, of course, good thing I remembered it.
New York Times.
Attacks on Asian Americans in New York have increased. And some people think obviously it's due to COVID, and I even forgot. You know, this is how disconnected I am to the fact that like COVID came from China. Is that and how smart I guess I am. I didn't connect Chinese people. I didn't connect Asians to COVID. Yeah. I don't connect them to this virus, and it's fucked up that there was that huge rhetoric that they were connected to it, and that like when in the beginning of the pandemic, when people were like, not when people were like, but when people were like not eating at Asian food places because they were correlating the two, and I was like, how that makes sense? They're not in. Where was that place at? Wuhan. They're not in Wuhan. They're in Boston. Like, they're not gonna give you COVID. Well, they might, but like it's because it's in Boston, not because they.
You know who gave COVID? Freaking
Biogen or whatever.
Biogen or whatever.
Facts, that Biogen conference that caused, I think, what was it, worldwide? 300,000 cases of COVID worldwide from a stupid ass conference
that they know they should have canceled. Like my trip got canceled.
I was like,
ass trip.
But okay, Bridgewater question. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me answer. Where this is the quiz section of our insert name here. So I'm just gonna ask me a question. You know, some of our quiz questions come from candidates. Some of them come from studies at universities. This one is the latter. Please. All right. Read it to me, darling.
This is from Bridgewater State University. A specific psychology course study. The Black Lives Matter movement is a wild beast preying on your local community. Just 1 year ago, the city was in good shape with no obvious vulnerabilities. Now, protest-related incidents fluctuate unpredictably, and for many it seems not enough is being done. The city's defense systems have weakened, and normal life has succumbed to Black Lives Matter disputes. It says BLM, not even Black Lives Matter also. The protests have strained your community, have threatened the town's health and human services. It seems that danger lurks around every corner, and there is a worry that if the city does not regain its strength soon, even more serious problems may start to develop. Now, the question I pose to you, Malaysia, is, in your opinion, what does your local community need to do to reduce the escalation of the Black Lives Matter movement?
Well, one thing they could do is abolish the police. That would really decrease.
I would dead ass stop protesting.
That would really decrease the number of Black Lives Matter protests.
You would not see me there.
Like, I promise you, it would work. The other thing they could do is close their eyes.
You know what they could do is I was thinking, you just get pieces of wood and put them together like a lowercase t, and then you put them in black people's lawns, and then you set them on fire, and the T is for time to leave.
You did good there. You lost me for a second, but you did
I just want I forgot like the actual like content of the post, but I did read this to my mom a couple days ago. It's still as funny. I think the imagery is just so artful. Like a wild beast preying on your local community. What was the other one that really had
it seems that danger lurks around every corner.
Yes.
I've also like the city's defense systems have weakened
and normal life
has succumbed.
Yes, that was it.
To BLM disputes.
BLM disputes.
Now, I want to know where these BLM disputes is happening, because I've been bored very late, and I would like to go to some Black Lives Matter disputes. What kind of disputes
is it like rap battles or something?
Yo,
it's like battle rap. It's a cipher. They're like, what's happening? They brought out these really big square machine guns. Like, those are speakers. No, I think they're weapons.
No, yes, they're boom cannons. They shoot sonic waves at everybody.
Right? To blow out your eardrums.
No,
yeah, I just think
dope beats.
My thing about that one is like the scientific method. I have a question, because the way you framed that question, like, there was not at all neutral. It wasn't
the chunk, the actual question.
I just feel like the premise was faulty. Like, I just feel like from the first sentence, I was like, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure that this question is going in a way that'll make sense. And yeah, Bridgewater, like, probably don't let your students do that.
I'm honestly shocked, like, well, from my understanding, because of the way I took like some test at UMass Lowell for my psychology courses I had to take. They forced you to take studies also, which is weird. Anywho, they like went through a process vetting them to make sure that the studies were like valid, ethical.
Right.
So you weren't asking stupid questions. So how a professor approved this?
A racist professor approved it, I'm sure.
And then
it might have been a panel. Imagine if it was a panel.
What if it in some way was this is in the mind of somebody who thinks this way, and I'm writing as this person, and you have to think that way to kind of get into that person's brain.
But that's not a study. That's not a. But that's something you would do as a psychology student. That's not something you would send as a study.
And you'd have to like maybe even add like a preface or something.
Like you'd have to explain.
Saying like this is a quote from a
person who opposes Black Lives Matter. Da 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 da.
And you have to have like, do you agree? Right. How would you answer this question and things like that. To me, this is not a it's not a sound study. It's
like I said, it started from a faulty premise. That's the problem.
So I would like to tell you this letter that came from the Office of the President. I don't know when it was.
I be hating the presidents of colleges, man. They really be annoying.
Dear BSU community, following a number of student complaints received since yesterday evening, Bridgewater State University is reviewing the use of a survey developed as a part of the class research project that was seeking to gain a deeper understanding of issues of racial discrimination and bias.
Sure.
As an institution that stands firmly with the Black Lives Matter movement, we are deeply sorry for the harm and pain this has caused our students and other members of the community.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
Oh, okay. The survey was developed as a part of an ongoing research project, the hypothetical...
See, an ongoing research
what's
project.
Say this word?
The hypothetical vignette.
Vignette. Vignette.
Remember when Miss O'Flaherty made us read vignettes? In 7th grade? You don't remember?
No.
Anyway, go on.
I don't remember a shit from 7th grade. All I remember is... No, what I do remember is that's when I started reading the True Blood series books. I was never doing anything what Miss O'Flaherty was doing in class. I would do it in like the first 10 minutes and then I'd be like, time to read about vampires having sex. I'm scandalous.
I remember someone asked me to borrow my New Moon, Twilight New Moon, and I had like the movie one and it had like, you know, whatchamacallem on the front and shit. And I was like...
I let my teacher in... What grade was that? She was Cape Verdean. Her name was Mrs. Silva. I let her borrow.
All of them.
Yes, I let her borrow. I think it was New Moon. I let her borrow my New Moon book because I was reading it in class, and she was like, "Oh, can I read it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with it." Nerd that carry books. That's me. I carried books for a long time in school, but whatever.
Yeah, you know, books are fun.
So yeah, that's what were we even talking about?
We were talking about Bridgewater.
Bridgewater.
Read the rest of the email.
I don't want to read the rest of the email.
Just tell me what.
I read A Child Called It in seventh grade.
I read that in like 4th grade. Triggering.
Damn, I already forgot what that word meant. What does this say?
Vignette.
Vignette. Okay, the hypothetical vignette from the survey was meant to elicit predictable responses to better understand how differences in the framing of an issue shape opinions, beliefs, and reactions. Both the researcher and the university strongly condemned the viewpoint articulated through the hypothetical.
Wow, that's a lot.
Never mind. Yeah, that's why I was like...
I just wanted to see if she was saying any more, like, energy.
No. They were basically like, it's hypothetical. It's all hypothetical.
My thing is, okay, so there's going to be another one talking about how QAnon is ravaging our society.
Yeah.
And something that's actually backed by, you know, evidence. Anyway.
I feel like there's a proper way to have those studies, like I said, and you just didn't do that study.
You can't just send something like that out randomly. Like, you have to... There is a scientific method. They didn't follow a method that was what's the word you said before? Ethical.
Yes, you have to. To me personally, I don't know how this psychology professor was doing their class, but to me, you probably should have had some type of like a training about what this study was kind of about. Like something where you kind of explain to people that the study was asking them like hypothetical / what are the reaction questions, not just send out a study being like, yo, so Black Lives Matter, that shit racist, huh?
We don't like that. They be destroying our...
They be destroying our properties, and I'm like, what property in Boston really got fucked up? What property and Bridgewater
So yeah,
about
Black
fucked
Lives
up.
Matter and Antifa are merging together, and we gotta figure out a way to fucking kill them all.
It's
man.
Black Tifa.
It's Black Tifa, bro.
Black
Yeah.
Tifa's coming. Let's
Kill
go
it.
national,
Okay.
baby.
Texas, that shit open.
Texas is like potty up.
Mississippi, that shit open.
Everybody, pew pew. Everybody gonna die. Pew pew.
But you know what's
Everybody gonna
horrible
die.
about this? Beyond the fact that Texas just had a massive, natural disaster.
And so did
event occur,
Mississippi.
Mississippi also has, specifically Jackson, Mississippi, where people are going on to their, I think, almost second week or third week without clean water. So, yes, while I saw a picture of this woman and she legit had like a stack of dishes in her house that she couldn't clean, and she like sprays them down every morning with like a disinfectant so they don't get like gross. And I was like, imagine that for like 2 weeks.
Gosh, you can even
And this
take
was
a
also-
shower properly.
Fun fact, this was also preventable. There's been issues with the Mississippi water system for a couple of years.
Of course it was preventable. Like
they cut it like 3
everything
years
is
ago.
preventable.
And they haven't done anything. And now, due to a storm, well, here we are with
All of it
thousands
was
of people
preventable.
without water.
The-
There's an
in
article of
fact-
a pregnant lady that had been driving 3 hours basically every day to get water and go home.
In fact, the storm itself was preventable at some point. Like as if we go far back enough, even the weather pattern was preventable.
See, it all dates back to at least even 20 years ago. Al Gore becomes president and we chose to do something about climate change then. These storms might not be happening.
Yeah, we had time then. But people don't understand that the more time it's not like if somebody says, "Oh, we have 30 years," 10 years ago.
To do something.
The thing about it is that you're continuing to like actually pollute and you're like doing more. Like it's gonna lower like the time that we have to fix it. That's why we were like, maybe we should get to net zero emissions like soon.
Everybody like, 2030?
Like I'm like, we'll
That
see.
should work.
We'll see what's going on in 2030. Like
They're like net zero by 2030, and then you see where we are. Like the city of Boston, a great example. Marty Walsh had his big old 2030, 2025 plans.
right.
We're nowhere near any of those goals. Like
None.
Like most of them are still like, well, we're in the process of figuring it out. We can't really do this, this, and this. We learned so we're nowhere. But yes, so Texas and Mississippi are open.
Oh yeah, that
COVID gonna be crazy.
yeah, it's gonna be a mess. Like we're really just content to like let 1 million people or so die from this. I think.
Mhm.
I think they're just comfortable with that.
They've accepted it at this point. They said we have enough space in the ground.
And it's like, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And talking about letting people fail, there was a discovery made by this group called Project Baltimore that found that hundreds of students were failing in a Baltimore City high school.
Yeah, it was bad. There was the student that the article talked about mainly. He had a .13 grade average,
I saw that,
and but he kept getting promoted. And he like missed like 270. He either missed or was late 272 days. And I really want to know which it was. Like,
Yeah,
was he
that
missing
late?
more day or late more day? Because if it was late, that's different. Anyway.
Because
But-
late wouldn't really ring it up. Like, if I was a mom, I would be like, okay, you're forcing it.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. People are like, well, she should have paid attention. I saw a lot of people commenting on this in my Facebook groups. They're like, well, she should have paid attention. Well, she should, like, you're like, how did you not know? Why don't you get involved in your kid's school? Homegirl's working 3 jobs, to be clear. And that was
Has
said in the
multiple
article.
children, not
Multiple
just that one
children.
child.
He was the oldest, also. I know it's terrible, but y'all know.
And sorry, but I'm assuming when I go to work, you're going to school. Sorry.
And the other thing about it is that people can't even fathom that they're coming from a place of privilege. People literally, like, do you understand that some people's parents didn't graduate high school? Do you understand that people just don't know things? They don't, like, if your kid kept getting promoted, what would you think? Of course, you think he's gonna like, if you're gonna promote him all the way up till senior year, let him graduate. Like, what the hell?
Why would I think anything's wrong? Like, okay.
You might as well just put a 1.5 on the grade point average and let him go. Like, that's what you were doing you might as well have been doing in the first place. Like, this is all, like, all of these, this is systemic failure, like, on the hugest and the smallest level. Like from No Child Left Behind to just the shittiness of Baltimore public schools as a whole. Like this is just failure on every level, from the school to the district to the fucking state and the country. It's all of us. We're failing.
Man,
like
to not have gotten kept back once is really the most shocking part.
And let's be clear. The other good part, the class has 120 people. Guess what number he is in class? 60. That means there are like 50 other people who did way worse than him. Like, or like 62 or something, bro. Like, and I can't imagine the like 55 is like a 2.0, yes, right? Like 55 is like a 1.
58 of them have a 0.13 or lower.
Like, if he's ranked.
Excuse me. Why first you should read articles fully, and second, why you shouldn't judge parents so easily, because this is most of his class is
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's what other people say. That is clearly a failure of institutions. That's not just a personal failure. Like, because if all of those people, it's like y'all know the thing, like your coach say, like if one of us fails, all of us. If you lose by a lot, it's my fault. If you lose by a little, it's your fault. Yeah. That's how this works, basically.
That is how it works.
Not fully, but mostly.
I mean, that's also how it works in like school too.
Right. That's what I mean.
Most of the class fails. The teacher okay.
Right.
Me.
Like, yeah, facts.
Only few people failed. That's y'all, even though that's not always how it works.
Right.
Either.
But it's you know what I mean.
It's generally how it works. So this is how it works here. This
the cumulative weighted GPA of those people, of the 62 out of 120 people, is 1.3. I mean, no, 0.1373. So like that, like, bruh, I got really bad grades in high school. Like that is like, it's amazing. Like that's like, I don't even know how. Like, cause I didn't do any of my homework. So, like, I don't even know, like, how that's, like, how do you have less than 1?
And, like, the school not reporting, like, anything right? Like, okay, that's
like, that's what I mean, like, less than 1 in getting promoted is what I mean. Not you have less than 1 in general, because obviously, but less than 1 in getting promoted to the next grade. How? Like, who, like, and also, and know that is not the mom's fault. If your kid is getting promoted, like,
how many people are going up in senior year or have gone up to senior year in that school and then just been like, okay, and then they've probably just been kicked out, like, okay, either you repeat everything again,
like, go back to 9th grade. Like, is that some, like, tax thing or something? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
Like, how has this not even been, like, something people have caught
like,
on before? This has probably been going on for years.
Oh, definitely. Somebody
I mean, it has, because he's a senior. Well,
and somebody was like, yo, the Wire season 4 or whatever. I'm like, dead ass. They were showing on them cooking the books, bro. Like, it's amazing what a lot of this is, like, not all of it, but some of it has to do with that standardized testing thing that we should not, like. It makes people wild, man. Like, all those teachers in Atlanta who are like, we have to make our students pass this test, but they can't pass this test, so we're just gonna cheat. Yeah. Like, that is, it's like, what is the point of school? Like,
if they're learning nothing, like, this kid would just come and probably just be like, well, okay,
like, 272. I don't even, like, they said they tried to meet with the mom once in the 4 years.
Once. Yeah, great job.
And everybody was like, well, she didn't go to the meeting. Well, she works 3 jobs. Once in 4 years. Like, they were like, well, what about in her time off? And everybody was like, yeah, you don't know about working 3 jobs, clearly.
You guys know what working a double is.
You know double?
And
that's when you work.
And then when you add in another job, so I guess that's a triple. So it's when you work.
And then that's a 4th job. It's a quadruple because kids are even more job. that you cannot take off, really.
The
Yeah, they
article
don't get paid for
it says
At
that
all.
homie's going to a new school.
Yeah, he's going to accelerated
He
school.
might be lucky to graduate in 2023.
I would be so pissed.
I'm just taking the GED test.
Right, I'd just be like, somebody can tutor me
Somebody
quick.
give me just a year GED test. Like, give me a year
Quick,
to do this.
To high school again, oof.
Because I'm not doing that.
And then
Well, I guess he also didn't show up to school.
yeah, maybe he wants the experience. Anyway,
Okay,
Chris
so
Cuomo.
Cuomo said he will not step down. He said he has learned an important lesson about his behavior around women.
What did
And
wait? You mean Andrew Cuomo?
Andrew, sorry.
I'm like, what did Chris Cuomo do?
Same brother, that's your brother. You take his sins.
No, the fuck I don't. In Malaysia, neither do you.
So Andrew Cuomo, the governor, sorry, not the news dude. Andrew Cuomo said he learned his lesson, and I don't know what that means.
And how did you decide you learned your lesson from being a sexual predator,
and
Andrew?
he won't step down.
Andrew, how about Andrew?
How the mighty have fallen. He went legitimately.
America's governor.
Everybody was like, wow, he should be running for president. I was going to say Chris Cuomo again. Andrew Cuomo, he's doing everything he needs to do against coronavirus. He's going to make sure
Andrew Cuomo looks like a
succeed
catcher's
against this.
mitt.
Please.
Andrew Cuomo look like somebody been throwing a baseball into his face for years.
But he learned his lesson in Malaysia.
His mouth opens like this.
He learned an important.
What lesson did he learn? Can you tell me about
he
it
looks like he's
specifically?
aged like 10 years within just this.
That's what I'm saying. He looked like.
Maybe that was his lesson. Maybe the Anunnaki found him and they sucked his soul.
Oh man, you've been watching Ancient Aliens, King?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I saw this TikTok about ancient aliens and people that say aliens built like those things and how it's racist.
Racist, yeah, super
And I said,
racist.
I love this so much because I feel like back then, besides like our group of people, nobody was talking about how racist that show was. To
It's
say
super
that
racist.
no black person
Yo,
or no like indigenous
I've been
American
watching
could
that.
build stuff.
I've been watching that show pretty much since it came on. That shit is
You're one of the
racist
only
as
people
heck.
that I know that watched it.
I haven't watched it in years. I'll be catching episodes regularly because it's still funny as hell. But like the shit is super racist. Like I'm like
There's no way that a black person could have.
they're like it was the
It must have been.
I liked the first few episodes where they were like showing like Bigfoot and stuff. I was like, what is this? Have to do? That was maybe like the second or third episode. I was like,
The graphics they would use is what made the show.
yo, that
hilarious
show
to
was the
me.
best because they used graphics like it was those like snapped or something.
Yes.
They used graphics like 48 hours or first 48 or whatever that shit. They took it so serious.
And there'd be like a spaceship in the picture, and I said, "I'm supposed to take you seriously."
Yo, or they
There's
would
no
show
spaceship.
like actually like fake gray aliens. They'd be like the grays, and it'd be like the alien you get at Six Flags when you win the thing. You'd be like, that's not. Please.
So I'm supposed to believe
They'd be like,
that
no.
this thing we have no imagery of, no visual of built these pyramids,
That we
but the
can
people
see
that were there
who said they built them and were there
and have evidence of like building like
those things.
materials and like processes and like wrote it down on the wall, and they were like, "This is how we built them." That's not true.
My thing, I love how like they talk about like a lot, like they talk about Akhenaten a lot, the Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
He was a weird one for the pharaoh. Was Nefertiti his wife? I think maybe. Anyway, but they talk about him a lot because of the paintings and stuff, and they talk about like Tut and stuff, and they're like, yo, look at their heads. They have alien heads, and I'm just like.
They were just
inbred, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, they were just fucking their sisters and cousins and stuff. That's the problem.
Yeah, okay. So we aliens when we inbred like black people, but when these white people look like whatever they look like, that video of Nakira made me watch of all those inbred Europeans, I said, yo.
I mean,
and they weren't aliens.
I mean, they be hey you guys in a whole lot. And
yo, you see all those paintings of royalty in Europe?
Yo, oh no. If you're listening to this, please type in like like
the Habsburgs, they're a good one.
Yes,
Just type in Habsburgs,
it was like
bro.
no, it was like a YouTube video of like royalty, most inbred royalty
Right.
throughout history. These motherfuckers look like the
Bro.
worst thing on earth I ever seen. I said,
And the part that kills me about it is that like it didn't have to happen. You could have just not married your family.
you could have not
Like,
fucked your cousin. You could have
Just
not fucked your
don't
sister.
marry your family. That's all. Like, stop having children with your family
Find
members.
somebody different.
That's all you had to do. But they're like, no, our blood is so pure. That's why it's killing us.
That was so confusing to me. They were like, our blood is so
Our
pure.
blood is so pure. That's why we have all these blood-based diseases.
Our blood is so pure.
That's
That
why
is
we all have
why
hemophilia.
my child gets one cut and suddenly he's dead at 3.
That's why
Our blood
none
is
of-
pure, isn't that right, third arm child?
That's why all my children are dead because our blood is so pure.
Yes, my child couldn't walk until he was 10. But it is because his mother's womb was weak, not because his mother is my sister.
Have you not watched Game of Thrones? Cersei Lannister's kids were all inbred and they all died.
Okay. Now on to, well, we were already having a fun topic, but, okay. So the only reason Louis Anderson wasn't coming to America was because Paramount told Eddie Murphy that he needed a white person in the movie.
Oh my goodness.
Because
Oh,
he just needed one white person, so he said, fine, I'll take Louis. I said,
Paramount what?
I don't need it.
And
like,
coming in the original coming. I gotta. Me and my mom were watching it Friday when it comes out. Yay! We're gonna have a little party. We're gonna see some like lobster shit. Can talk about that later. Yeah, no, but the original Coming to America, was there a token white in that?
Yeah, he was in the McDowell's.
Oh yeah, I remember now. I thought there was like one, but I'm like, yeah.
I hope they use that same trope with this one, where they just have one white person.
Oh, I think
That's what he did.
in
This
the
is why they mentioned it, is that he's just going to be the other. They might have other people, but this was still they're only going to be their like main white person.
Who, Louis?
Yeah.
He's still alive?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
What? Dope.
I'll double check though, so I'm not wrong.
I thought he died.
I thought he did too, honestly. Yeah, he appears to be alive.
What?
Well, obviously he's in fucking Coming to America too.
I'm just.
He's clearly
His
alive.
birthday's this month. March
Happy
24th.
birthday, babe.
But yes, he's alive.
Wow.
Anywho, so the only reason he's in the movie is because of Paramount. So they said, let's find a funny ass dude, and they said, we'll put him here.
We need a token white. Kings of Leon
Mm-hmm.
will be, what's an NFT?
It's
Cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm. It says it all there for you.
Yep, I'm reading it. I asked when I was reading it. Instead of holding money, they hold cold assets like art, tickets, and music. Cool.
That's what the only reason I brought it up is because lately the conversation for artists has been like how they're gonna make money without touring, and like how they're gonna like do a lot of these things that they normally would in a normal situation. And this is something that people have started thinking of, which is like a cryptocurrency something, so you can buy albums through this. In my brain, it kind of works out like bartering, where you're like getting art for blah 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 or whatever else it is.
You can be their patron. I want to be a patron
Basically.
of the Kings of Leon.
But somebody made a funny joke. Kane, could you repeat it for me, please?
They said, I will not give Kings of Leon I will not give this band any currency until they have practiced at least once.
Oh, this sex is on fire.
You know, I think that might be the only reason I actually put this on here, is to hear one of us to sing.
There are others. I like 3 Kings of Leon songs. Do you want to hear what they are?
Yes.
I like Notion.
Mm-hmm.
I like Use Somebody,
Mhm.
and I like this sex is on fire.
I feel like everybody has a Nickelback.
I was playing
like
your basis.
everybody has
Yes,
everybody has a Nickelback, and like in both ways. Everybody has a Nickelback in the sense that there's a band that they absolutely hate, or something or someone that they absolutely hate for just no reason.
I have
That's their Nickelback. My Nickelback in the other sense is I have no reason why I like Kings of Leon and why I know so much about like their discography, but I've listened to pretty much all of it at this point.
You know,
it's not a bad band.
you know what the song
They
"Sex
do.
on Fire" makes me think of?
It only makes me think of sometimes I used to buy magazines back in that era, like 2010 or 9 or whatever. I just remember
Back
like
in the 1900s, yes.
I just remember like they when Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart were fake dating, obviously fake dating. I remember them like they went to a Kings of Leon concert and everybody was talking about how they were making out to Sex on Fire, and wow,
They
it was
really
so like
Preteen teen us through a loop with that. They were like, wow, Sex on Fire, they're making out. It means they're having sex.
They were probably like on Mad Molly and shit, like fucked up.
No, they were faking a relationship.
No, I know, but like at a concert, they were probably like,
They were high as hell.
That's what I mean.
Definitely.
That's probably why they made out. Like they were faking the relationship, but they were like, let's just go here, take some Molly, we might
like Kristen Stewart is like one of the clearest between her and Elliot. Those were two of the Elliot Page. Those were two of the most clear. Those were two of the clearest. Like these people are not living the life they want. They want to be living. They're not living their truth.
Yes.
Like those were the two clearest for me. Yeah. Like
you ain't had to tell me twice, Chief.
Right. I was like, for both of them, I was like, yep.
Sounds about right. Okay, sound good. Live your truth, girl, or them. All right, so. We have a fabulous story. 2 fabulous stories to end our night tonight. First is about a lovely sneaker reseller from, I think, somewhere. I think the West Coast, whatever. His thing is West Coast. I think it's like Seattle or one of those places, whatever.
Seattle, I think.
Homie makes a name for himself selling sneakers. Mm-hmm. He's like, bam, I got every exclusive release of a Nike you ever want, you ever need. And then at a certain point, he starts just having a warehouse of sneakers. He like, I got a plug. I got bots working for me. I'm getting it. I'm making it happen. I'm getting rich. I got 2 BMWs. Y'all fave could never. Y'all fave white 19-year-old boy could never sell these sneakers like me.
Don't have one, but okay.
It just so happens I got a plug. That's my mama.
Who works at Nike?
She might just be a VP at Nike. She might just be my plug, and I'm not telling you she's my plug.
This is literally every like white entrepreneur story. Like everyone who built themselves up by their bootstrap is literally just like that. Remember that story we talked about one time about that company, and it was in Wisconsin or something, and it was started by like 2 like young, like they were probably like 18 or 19, and they were some sort of firm for something, some data firm or something. And they're like, yeah, look, we have these 2, we have Quicken Loans and we have this nonprofit. Like, wow, we're so good. The dad was the CEO of Quicken Loans and the mom was the fucking director of the nonprofit. Fuck out of here.
The kid was wild, and the reason this made headlines, besides the fact that in the sneaker community he was really big because he had a ton of bots. And he also had a bot Discord where people paid $250 a month to learn
they need him, Joanne the scammer all the time.
The sneaker resale god to learn from him how to become like him.
That's such racial violence, honestly, too.
And then we find out because peep how we find out he starts going to homies and different type of journalists. Trying to brag and get clout. Because most 19-year-old white boys, what do they want? They want likes. I know people think it's little white girls and white and just girls that want likes. No, it's teenage boys. They want bitches. They want likes. They want clout.
They want bitches and they want respect from black men.
They want this respect that they ain't never gonna get.
Yo, it's killing me. It really feels like racial violence. I mean, to have this boy acting like he was the king of sneaker reselling when. Who pioneered the industry of sneaker reselling, and this kid is just, has a literal, it's not a connect, you are part of the company at this point.
A connect.
You are official Nike retailer at this point.
Is, you find the connect,
You're not born to the connect, and be able to call them the connect, no.
And, oh yes, like I was saying, the reason he got caught was the journalist was calling him back about some other questions and realized the number there, like, he Googled it and was like, wait, she works at Nike. He got his mama caught up.
You are, like I said, he's an official Nike retailer at this point.
You know how pissed I would be if I was his mom? Because at a certain point, now me, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You don't really deserve it. There's a possibility you didn't know what your son was doing. A small one, but
Impossible possibility, yes.
But I'll let you get that lie off. But your son had warehouses full of sneakers.
That's what I'm saying. An impossible possibility.
He's only 19, like now.
Impossible possibility.
He's been doing this for how long?
Since he was a teenager.
He still is.
Oh, correct. So yes. So this Nike kid not only fucked up his own business, but also his mom's. 2 in 1 by trying to chase clout. He couldn't have sat back and ate.
They never can because the people have like stuff handed to them in this way, and they're acclimated to feel that they deserve it. Like they really feel like, yes, I worked hard and they didn't do shit, and they want people to like applaud them, and they didn't do shit.
Just want y'all to know, if I get a plug where I can make a shit ton of money and put people on, you're not gonna hear from me that I have a plug.
Like that's what I think. That's what people. I don't understand.
You're not gonna see me in my BMWs that I didn't rightfully own.
I don't understand why people want people all in their business. That's the part I don't get. Like, why you want somebody all in your business?
That's how you get caught up. I want people to know, every single time somebody gets caught up, it's usually their fault. Mm-hmm. Usually you said something that led people to think twice about who you were. And guess what? This time he did it for himself. Mm-hmm.
So next we have to talk about cancel culture.
Canceled. You're canceled, Malaysia.
So first of all, cancel culture took Dr. Seuss from us.
Me.
Cancel culture, aka Dr. Seuss's estate. This is hair.
Yes.
Cancel culture.
They're taking green eggs and ham from me, Malaysia.
How dare they?
In fact, they're not.
They're taking the Who.
They're taking
No, the Who is that what
they're taking all the places you'll go.
I don't even think they're taking Who or Sneak It.
They're taking away any of the popular.
They're not even taking away the good ones. They're taking away like we. What's the one? We Bought a Zoo. Whatever that one is called. It's not called that. That's the movie. But it's something like something about a zoo. There's another. Some Dr. Seuss books were weird. Like the House on Mulberry Street. That was the only really popular one. And something about the zoo.
Something about the zoo. Is this the list? Show me the list.
They said these 2 books and 6 other books, or these 2 books and 4 other books.
Yes, it's 6.
Tell me the books. Tell me which books.
And also, Fox News flipped out because Joe Biden didn't mention it, and I said, didn't mention Dr.
This
Seuss.
is Tan Suit.
I said, Dr. Seuss is where y'all draw the line. Excuse me.
Didn't I press next?
Where are the sticks? I don't want to.
Yeah, no, they just showed his museum and stuff. I looked at it. I'm like, I want to know the list. Can you Google list of Dr. Seuss books that are being? Yeah, and the other thing is that he didn't. I Run a Zoo, whatever that shit's called.
I Run a Zoo. I've never seen that in my life.
If I Ran a Zoo, that's what it's called.
I have never seen any of these books in my life.
The ones are nope. The ones are and To Think. I saw it from the House on Mulberry Street. Maybe we need to go back to reading Dr. Seuss. That shit is bad small and blurry.
No, it is.
But that's the only one I know. If I Ran the Zoo, it's the zoo. See, that don't even look interesting. McElly got Pooh. It's Dr. Seuss. You know it says weird shit.
What's happening?
Oh my.
Oh, okay.
Scrambled egg. On Beyond Zebra. I don't get these titles. Scrambled egg super. These sound like they were translated from Japanese to Chinese to Vietnamese to English. That's what they sound like. And that's a specific reference. And by the way, I hope someone gets it. And The Cat's Quizzer.
I have never heard of any of these books. Literally,
I said, I only know the Into Thing. I saw it on
Hyena Cancer something I don't even know about.
Anyway, Dr. Seuss is not being canceled. It's just those 6 books and they're trash anyway. I never read them, but they look like they're trash.
There was no reason for us to only be reading Dr. Seuss books. We should have been promoting Black and like POC authors long ago.
Facts.
Like there was no reason I should be celebrating the 100th blah 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 of Dr. Seuss something, but not celebrating any other author. Like, do you know how stupid it makes you that you only know Dr. Seuss when you're like,
They didn't take away one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, so we okay.
they didn't take away green eggs and ham. They didn't take away the stupid one with the.
Cat hat.
Is that it?
No.
Yes, it's
Horton
Cat
Hears a
Hat.
Who.
Cat
No, the
hat.
Cat
Horn
Hat is
Ears
the one I
Who.
mentioned.
Sneeches.
Yo, Horton Hears.
Sneeches is like when he was like, oh wait, racism is kind of bad. We are the same.
Also, I personally never saw a lot of Dr. Seuss books beyond like 4 or 5 of them.
Like I said, the ones we just named.
Yeah, and I didn't even like Horton Hears Who. I didn't know was a book until I.
Yeah, I
like, the
never
movie
saw the
came
book
out.
of Horton Hears Who in my life,
I
or
said-
the Lorax.
I said these are Dr. Seuss books.
I couldn't even really imagine how the Lorax looks in the picture book.
I think I've only seen it because I've seen it in the past like 5 years instead of in the past 24 years.
There was one called All the Places We'll Go or something.
Oh yes, but I
Yeah,
have
the-
never seen that as well.
That's the book they give you when you graduate from things.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be
Okay.
graduating soon, so
You want all the
make
places
with the
to
book.
The other
Make with the book.
make with the book.
I should kill you. Make with the. Get me the book.
The other thing.
Make with the book.
The other thing that's being canceled by cancel culture is Mr. Potato Head. Why are you taking away our potato's gender, even though we can choose the potato's gender by having more than one potato and just adding different parts to whichever potato we prefer? Anyway, the other thing about this Mr. Potato Head thing is really killing me because it's like fully not at all what they're saying. Like, they're literally just changing the brand name from Mr. Potato Head to Potato Head, and then
Potato head.
the other potatoes, the Mr. Potato and the Mrs. Potato and the baby potato, they're still there, and all the other fucking potatoes are still there. Like, I know y'all are really attached to gendered potatoes.
Excuse me,
Shut the
sir.
fuck up. I know y'all really attached to gendered potatoes.
I'm not. I eat any
But,
potatoes.
And Miss Potato Head is not even fun. It's just
boiled.
fun to put like the lips in the ear hole and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that.
gotta make a Pablo Picasso potato. You know?
Exactly.
Pablo Potato Picasso.
I don't remember the
A
last time I saw
papacasso.
Papa Picasso.
A Mr. Papacasso.
Mr. Papa Picasso Potato Head.
A papacasso.
Mommy, I wanna play with Mr. Papacasso.
It's strange.
Well, that's where we leave you guys.
That's where we at, bro. They're taking the Potato Head's gender. The potatoes deserve, because potatoes have genitals.
When we
also,
come to the
or
end of the road,
gender or sex.
we've reached
or
potatoes
anything.
with genders. We've come to the end of the road and it's gendered potatoes.
I just think like it makes a lot more sense because like the Mrs. Potato Head box used to say Mr. Potato Head and then Mrs. Potato Head under it, and then the Mrs. Potato Head box you say Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head, and that's just weird.
That's like people getting mad that you put a bow on Pac-Man and now it's Mrs. Pac-Man. She doesn't need a bow.
I'm like, okay, here's my question. How the fuck will you tell the
Jordan
difference?
said, more important, why can't we attach plastic genitalia to